Master Your Mindset Radio, episode 46.
Welcome to Master Your Mindset Radio, the show where we empower you to conquer limiting beliefs and transform your world with your gifting and purpose. Now for your host, Elizabeth Nader.
Hello, friends. Excited to talk to you today about something that I was inspired by from Jenny Catron's book, Clout, to discover and unleash your God-given influence. Now, Jenny has an awesome book that I was just paging through like crazy because I love everything she has to say, so much so that I'm interviewing her in my upcoming summit on Flatten Your Fear. So look for that information. That registration is going to be available soon. It's a free summit, 21 experts talking about ways you can get past your fears and walk into your destiny. But Jenny, this book is incredible, and there's so many gems. One thing I'm going to talk about today, just one phrase she used that sent me off into a whole direction of inspiration, and that was the phrase of "I'll never be." Now, I'm going to call this the distraction of "I'll never be." Have you heard yourself say that? Maybe you've said it out loud. Maybe you've said it in your head over and over again. I'll never be enough. I'll never be like her. I'll never be like him. I'll never be what I want to be. I'll never be successful. I'll never be wealthy. I'll never be healthy. Whatever we say, we spend a lot of time, if we're honest, saying I'll never be. Why is that such a damaging statement? I just want to challenge you today to think about how many times you say that to yourself. And even more so, maybe how many times you say it out loud. Is it your inner monologue or your outer monologue? It doesn't matter. We're still saying these negative things to ourselves. What does it do to us? What does it do to our future? What does it do to realizing our purpose and our destiny when we are constantly focusing on the "I'll never be" statements? What does that do to us? Well, I literally just jotted down a few things, and this is a subject we could go on and on about. But let me highlight what damaging aspects the "I'll never be" statements bring into our life. First of all, it creates discontent. That means that we are never at a place where we are happy with ourselves, with our circumstances, with who we are. We are in a state of constant discontent. We may not even realize that we put ourselves in that state, but absolutely we bear the fruits of that. And for any of you who feel discontent, watch what you're saying. Watch what you're thinking. How many "I'll never be" statements are in your mind or on your tongue throughout the day? It also encourages comparison and jealousy, which of course goes hand in hand with discontent. Because the "I'll never be like her," "I'll never be like him," "I'll never be what they are," just all it does is focus the light on what we don't have, on what someone else has, on comparing ourselves, which is a completely useless exercise because, of course, comparing ourselves to others will get us nowhere. We are all created, each one of us, unique, on purpose, for a purpose. How does comparison help you? It doesn't. Jealousy is just wanting what someone else has. Again, not a positive trait, not a positive mental focus. So the "I'll never be" encourages comparison and jealousy. It really blinds you to what it is you do have. What you have right now that you can use. What you focus on enlarges. So if we're going to focus on "I'll never be," "I'll never be," then that's all we see in our life. And we are then blinded to what it is we actually do have, what it is we can actually use to move forward in our life. That's already in our sphere, in our world, inside of us. But we're not focused on that. We're focused on what we don't have. The "I'll never be" statements also stop the attitude of gratitude. That feeling of being discontent, that feeling of being jealous, that feeling of comparison, it all is going together now. And now you are not even grateful for what you have, or at least you don't focus on it. And if any of you have gone through periods of your life where you try to focus on gratitude, it should really be a daily exercise. But if you go through those times where you really focus on it, you know how much your life improves. You know how much your mental game improves, how much your mindset strengthens when you focus on the things that you're grateful for. Try it out. Every night when you go to bed, write down 5 things you're grateful for from that day. Every morning when you wake up, write down 5 things that you're grateful for that are in your life. It shifts the focus of everything. But the distraction of the I'll never be statements stops the flow of gratitude in our life. It keeps our eyes on ourself. That is the worst place we can have our eyes, is on ourself. We are not here on this earth to fulfill our own needs. We are here on this earth to fulfill our purpose, which is about serving and helping others. So every time we focus in on ourselves and adjust our eyes back on ourselves, we begin to crumble. It is not how it's supposed to be, but the I'll never be statements are all about us. They're very pride-filled. You say pride, but it's about what you don't have. But that's like a reverse pride, because you're saying, look at me, look at me, look at what I don't have. You just want people to focus on you, which is an element of pride. So the I'll never be statements is really keeping your eyes on yourself, and it's a form of self-centeredness. The I'll never be statements also pushes other people away. It's a repelling force. It's not drawing people into your positive nature, your positive influence. It is a repelling force because people don't want to hear the whining and the complaining. They really don't. Maybe for a time it'll make them feel better about themselves, which is unfortunately a human nature trait, but ultimately you will repel those you are supposed to be helping because they don't want to be around someone who's constantly focusing on what they don't have. And so it stops the flow of favor and blessing in our life because it's attracting the negative. What we're focusing on is expanding. We're focusing on what we don't have. We're focusing on those things that we wish we had, but instead of putting our effort towards getting them, we are complaining about them in a way that says, I'll never be. And you need to watch your words because I've said this before. You never have what you criticize, and you'll never have what you say you'll never have. I mean, think about the impact of the words, I'll never be. You are literally dictating your future in those words. Be careful what you say. The words I'll never be causes us to lead from a place, if we're leading at all, of fear and scarcity. The I'll never be is a fear statement. And it's also one that buys into the scarcity idea that if someone else has something, that means I'll have less. That's all a lie, and it's all bundled in fear. It blinds us to seeing opportunities in our life. The opportunities that take us on our journey of purpose don't always come with flashing lights and turn here and step into this signs. They often come in bundles that you may not recognize in ways that are not obvious. And you have to be able to discern. But if you're leading from an I'll never be status, that negativity, that fear, you are blinded usually to seeing opportunities. It also erodes at your confidence and your self-esteem because, again, you're basically telling yourself what you don't have, and you're constantly putting that in front of your subconscious mind and constantly directing your thoughts to the negative, to the lack, instead of what you do have. So what do you do about this? Well, it's easy for me to say, just stop saying it, stop thinking it, but we know that that's not always the easiest answer. I will tell you though, if you immediately begin to focus on what you are and what you do have and what you could be, everything will start to shift in your life. It's a discipline. The moment you feel yourself thinking or saying those words, I'll never be, or something similar, you need to stop. You need to do the effort, make the effort to shift and start to focus on who you are, what you have now, what you have to offer, and what you can be. Each of us in our heart have an idea of who we can be. It's just layered underneath so much self-condemnation, self-criticism, and hurt from others that a lot of times we don't actually want to talk about it. We don't feel like we can reach that space that says what you can be. But you need to get in touch with the possibility in your life. So focus needs to change. Shift your focus to what you are, to what you do have, and what you can be. I always tell people to write I am statements. It's the opposite of I'll never be. It really is. Instead, you write out strong I am statements. And those could be based on where you are today, but also where in your heart you see yourself going. What do your dreams say? What is it that God put inside of your heart that you want to speak out? You have to shift from the negative, I'll never be statements, and start writing out and speaking the positive, life-affirming, future-building I am statements. For some of you, that will be easier than for others. Some of you are more in touch with what your gifts are or what dream is in your heart. Others of you have not been able to reach it and you're not sure and you're confused. If you are that way, you need to do the work. You need to find a coach. You need to find a friend. You need to find a pastor, someone who can help you re-examine your life, re-examine your gifts, and start to paint the picture of your purpose so that you can operate in the lane that God designed for you. Each one of you listening was created on purpose, for a purpose. Not one person on this earth was created without purpose, but not everyone does what is necessary and needed to find that purpose, to chase that purpose, and to experience that destiny. It's really up to you. So if you feel like it's there, then get in touch with it. If you have no clue, get the help that you need so that you can switch all these negative thoughts and negative words around into words that start to form your future. And really, the most important thing of all of this, as Jenny says in her book, you need to remain true to the design and the intent of your creator. Anybody who creates something, they have within them an idea of why they created it. They created it with a specific intent, a specific design, so it can do a specific thing. You are no different. You were intentionally created. If you don't know why and you don't know what for, do the work to find out. Trust me, it's individual, it's specific, and it's amazing. If you have a sense of it, run with that. Continue to push towards it. Either way, know that if you focus on that, on the intent and the design of your creator, you will see less and less I'll never be statements coming out of your mouth. It is the best thing in the world when you find purpose, you know purpose, and you chase purpose. Nothing is better. And God didn't want it to be a mystery. He didn't purposely design and create you unique and specific so that it would be a mystery to you and you couldn't possibly figure out why or how. The answers are there. You need to ask, you need to seek, you need to do the work, you need to heal. You need to challenge those things that have come against you to try to keep you down. It's those things in life, the resistance, the negativity, the experiences that create fear and make you stand still. They're meant to kill your purpose. Are you willing to rise up against that? Are you willing to change your thoughts? Are you willing to change your words? If you are, purpose is in front of you. So I encourage each one of you to do the work. Do the work, find the truth, find the path, and experience your purpose. And guess what? No more statements of I'll never be. Your statement will then turn around into, wow, look what I am. Have a great week, guys.
Thank you for listening to Master Your Mindset Radio. Before you go, if you want to be part of a free online community of like-minded individuals for support, resources, and inspiration as you conquer your limiting beliefs and pursue your purpose, go to elizabethnader.com/community. That's elizabethnader.com/community, or search for Master Your Mindset Academy private group on Facebook. Looking forward to seeing you online.